Hello and welcome. Namaste. So nice to share the practice with you, and I look forward to the next 8 weeks of just diving in and giving ourselves this time and space dedicated to yoga practices. Just as a bit of a logistical thing, we will be using blocks and a belt. You could alternatively use a scarf. And with blocks as well, if you have them available, that's fantastic. But if not, there's always ways around things, so don't feel stressed if you don't have props available. And for your own comfort as well, if you have a cushion, blanket, and bolster available for Shavasana and Yoga Nidra at the end, that would also be nice. So, welcome to class 1 of this 8 week immersion. Uh, the practice that we're going to be doing is progressive, in that we're going to start simple and we're going to repeat a lot of the same techniques over the 8 weeks with an introduction to variations or introducing new postures occasionally. And what this does is gives us the opportunity to really learn and feel familiar with the techniques without arriving on the mat every week thinking, what are we going to be doing? You'll kind of get a sense for what we'll be doing each week, and it'll allow you to drop into your own rhythm and feel comfortable in your practice while gently challenging yourself. And then it also allows for exploration of deeper elements of your practice. So coming back to yourself, regulating your nervous system, cultivating one of the primary principles of practice, which is finding balance between effort and ease. So yeah, that's a little bit of what to expect over the next 8 weeks. And thank you for everyone who's joining now as well. So if you want to make yourself comfortable sitting on your mat, and just a reminder that I'm here to guide you, but this is 100% your practice, your body, your rhythm. So even though I might be guiding you and might be setting a pace, I really, really ask you to allow yourself to move at a pace that feels right for you with your breath. If you need to pause anytime, please do. And if you want to speed up a little, please go ahead and do that as well. And that's what I hope that you take away from the practice, is learning to listen to your body, finding your rhythm, responding to your needs. So getting comfortable, placing your hands on your lap, shoulders soften down away from your ears. And if you like, half closing your eyes or closing them completely. And settling into your breath. Allowing your hips and legs to be heavy as you rise up into the crown of your head, lifting through your spine. And taking a moment to notice the sounds around you. Some close by and some further away. Noticing the feeling of the air on your skin and your clothes resting on your body. Becoming aware of your breath, following its journey in through your nose and down into your lungs, and following it back out again. And we're not going to move into any technical breathing, just really tuning in to your breath, breathing with awareness. And as you become more focused and aware of your breath, just noticing if you naturally start to breathe a little deeper. Noticing if your exhales become a little more complete. Taking 2 more rounds of your breath. Moving into Gorunga breathing. So we're going to take 5 rounds of Gorunga breathing, taking one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart center. So as you inhale, silently say the mantra Gorunga in your mind. And as we exhale, we'll say the mantra out loud for the entire length of our exhalation. So let's exhale completely. Take a breath in and say the sound. Goranga. Inhale. Goranga. Inhale. Goranga. Inhale. Goranga. Last time. Goranga. Lowering your hands to your lap. Allowing the mantra to resonate through your mind and heart. And gently opening your eyes. And now coming into some nice stretches to awaken our neck, shoulders, and spine. Dropping your chin down toward your chest, letting your head be heavy. Still sitting up nice and tall. And raising your head, raising your chin. Being mindful not to lift too far. And then dropping the head. Seeing if you can really allow gravity to draw the weight of your head forward till you feel a gentle stretch through the back of your neck. And raise your head, taking your gaze up, lifting your chin. Let's do that one more time. Exhale. And inhale. And come back to center, taking your head from side to side, looking to the right. Come back to center, look to the left. Coming back to center. Inhale. Exhale to center. Inhale to the left. And coming back to center, and this time we'll take the right ear to the right, toward the right shoulder. So just dropping your head down. And for a little more of a stretch, you can take your right hand to rest on the left side of your head. And raise the head up and over to the other side. Maybe the left hand to the right side of your head, gently encouraging the head, the ear down toward the shoulder. Good. And slowly come back up to center. Now raising your shoulders up and down. Lifting up and down. One more time, lifting up and down. Now taking your arms out to the side, making some loose fists and circling your forearms, working into your elbows, waking up the joints, and opposite direction. We're just slowly waking up our body. And now arms out straight, opening up your hands, reaching into your fingertips, and then exhale, making fists, clenching your fists a little. Inhale, open and stretch. Exhale. Inhale, open. Last time, exhale. And lower your arms. Coming over onto all fours. Stacking your shoulders above your wrists and your hips above your knees. Starting in a neutral spine position, press down into your palms so that your shoulders are nice and active. And also press down into the front of your feet and your shins so that you have just a very gentle activation through the legs as well. And now moving with your breath, as you feel the urge to inhale, tilt your pelvis forward, lengthen your spine, looking forward, arching your back. And as you feel the urge to exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, rounding your back in the opposite direction, looking to your navel. And then continue moving with your breath. Inhale, open and look forward. Visualizing your spine lengthening. Exhale, rounding your spine. Keep going for another few rounds. It's such a nice pose to really tune into your own rhythm. Really giving yourself this time before the rest of the world, all of our daily tasks, demands being pulled in different directions. We can just take time for ourselves. Starting the day slow and mindfully. Coming back to center now. Balancing, so hands to the floor and leg to the floor. We're going to raise the right leg up. So extending the right leg back, toes to the floor, and then inhaling to raise the leg up. And you might just come to hip height, or if you feel you can go a little bit further, raising the foot, keeping the leg nice and long, and the right hip rolling down. Keep pressing down into your foundation to help give you some strength and balance in the posture. Keeping your breath flowing. One more inhale. And exhale. Knee to the floor. Take a breath between sides. And inhaling to extend the left leg back, toes to the floor. And then floating that back leg up. Maybe to hip height or maybe a little higher. Keeping the left hip moving down as your leg rises up. Pressing into your palms. Pressing into your back shin. One more inhale. And exhale. Knee to the floor. And now tucking your toes under and stepping forward to the top of your mat. Slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time. Finding yourself in mountain pose at the top of your mat, we're going to go through 3 cycles of sun salutations. I'll start with a modified version for the first one. And because this is a morning practice, just be mindful your joints might be feeling a little bit stiff, so take it nice and slow. And then I'll work into a full variation and just choose the options that feel most comfortable for you. Standing with your feet nice and firm on the floor. Inhale, lifting into the crown of your head, and exhale. Now inhale as you raise your arms up, bringing your palms together, looking to your thumbs, feeling your spine lifting. Exhaling, folding forward, bending through the knees, hands to the floor. Inhale, flat back, sliding your hands up your shins, look forward. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back into plank position. Lower your knees to the floor, elbows working into your ribs as you lower your chest. Inhale, hips to the floor, pressing down into your palms, lifting into a baby cobra, warming up our spine. And then exhale, knees to the floor, tuck the toes and lift back into downward dog. And because this is our first downward dog, we're just going to lift and lower our heels a little, warming up through the backs of the legs. And then when you're ready, soft bend through your knees as you allow your heels to move down toward the floor. And just check your hands, fingers and thumbs are spread nice and wide. Press the floor away and lift into your hips. And then exhale as you allow your heels to naturally move down toward the floor. And if it feels a little stiff or restricted through your lower back or your hamstrings, just bring a soft bend into your knees. Staying here for one more breath. Looking between your hands and stepping your feet forward. Inhale, sliding your hands up your shins, flat back, looking forward. And then exhale, bending the knees, fold forward. Inhale, lifting up, coming back up to standing, raising the arms, looking to your thumbs, and exhale, arms down by your sides. So you can continue on with those modifications if you like. Otherwise, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward, maybe straight legs, hands to the floor. Inhale, flat back, hands to your shins or fingertips to the floor. Exhale, hands to the floor, jump or step back into plank. And elbows in as you lower down. Inhaling into cobra or upward dog, taking it nice and easy. Exhale, tuck the toes, drive through the belly as you lift the hips back into downward dog. Holding here for 3 breaths. Press the floor away, lift into your hips, anchoring your heels down toward the floor. Doesn't matter where they land. Taking your time with each breath. Inhale and exhale completely. And then look between your hands and jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up to standing, reaching up through the hands. Exhaling, arms down by your sides. We'll do one more round. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back into plank. Lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, tuck the toes and lift back into downward dog. Holding here for 3 breaths. Taking your time with the inhale and the exhale. Being patient with your breath. Not trying to force it or speed it up. And exhaling completely, looking between your hands, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Bring your palms together. Exhale. Lower your arms by your sides. And take a breath. Feeling all of that beautiful circulation happening in your body. Okay, so we're going to move into standing forward fold now. So if you have blocks or a belt, you might like to use them here. Standing with your feet hip distance apart, I'm going to show you some options with props. Taking the middle of your belt underneath the soles of your feet and holding onto the ends of your belt in each hand. And from here, folding forward at the hips, starting with a soft bend in your knees, and just gradually walking your hands down the belt. And you might find a comfortable position, halfway lifted, quarter, third of the way, wherever you land. And then you've got your belt to draw against to help you fold deeper into the pose. So you've got the belt here as an option. Or if you have two blocks, you can take the blocks underneath your hands so that you've got a point of reference to bring your hands to as you fold forward. If you only have one block, you can also take it onto its side and fold forward. And if you feel you don't need to engage with props, folding forward, taking your hands to the floor, wrapping your first two fingers around your big toes, starting with a soft bend in your knees. And wherever you are, holding the belt, hands on the blocks, or hands to the floor or toes, just gently starting to draw your upper body forward, lengthening through your spine, hinging at the hips. And not trying to force a certain shape or experience. Just moving with awareness. And keep breathing. And some little subtle shifts and adjustments that you might like to explore are drawing against your toes, the belt or the blocks, or if you're holding your ankles, drawing against that contact point to maybe encourage your upper body closer toward your legs. Maybe also exploring how the inhale makes you feel a little bit like you want to lengthen, and then exhaling, drawing in, softening. And also play with scooping in through your belly to allow a little bit more space for that hinge at the hips. Just a couple more breaths here. Good. Getting ready to release. Taking your hands to your hips, soft bend through your knees, and press all the way up to standing. And relax your arms by your sides, feeling that beautiful rush after being inverted, allowing everything to balance out. And now making your way down onto all fours again, we're going to practice downward dog. So, moving your props aside, taking your hands forward, and with your toes tucked under, spreading your fingers and thumbs nice and wide, lifting up into the hips. And let's take our time to move into the pose. So first start with that foundation of pressing the floor away, nice and active through your hands. And as you press the floor away, notice how that helps to naturally open up through the chest and shoulders, and then feeling the hips lift to help lengthen your spine. And if you like, you can play with drawing the belly in toward the thighs, exaggerating the stretch through the chest. Good. Now coming back to regular downward dog, allowing your heels to now move down toward the floor. Hips are lifting, sending the chest back toward the legs. And holding here. We'll stay here for about another 5 breaths. Again, just being patient with each breath. Anytime you feel like you need a break, just coming down to rest on your knees or in child's pose. And just a couple more breaths. Beautiful. Now exhaling completely. Lowering your knees to the floor. Dropping your hips back to your heels. Forehead to the floor, and now bringing your arms alongside your body. Softening your shoulders and relaxing completely. Two more breaths here. And slowly lifting up your torso, taking your hands forward and stepping your right foot forward. Again, you might like to utilize blocks here. We're going to do a lunge, dynamic movement first, and then holding the lunge. If you have any sensitivity under your knee, you can double your mat over or place a blanket under your knee for some cushioning. Taking your hands forward to the top of blocks to start with, or resting on top of your knee. And we're going to lift, and as we lift through the hips, drawing up through the pelvic floor, drawing in through your core, and then exhale, softening completely, allowing your thighs and hips to move away from one another. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale to lift. And exhale. Now holding this lunge position. Option to have your hands on blocks. And if your hands are on the blocks, you've got a little bit of control that anytime you need a break from the stretch, you press down into the blocks, lift your hips slightly, and then drop into the stretch at a depth that feels comfortable. Good. A couple more breaths on this side. All right. Getting ready to change to the other side now. If you do have blocks, you can take your hands to the blocks to step your leg back. And stepping the left foot forward. Having blocks underneath your hands is one of the secrets to being able to comfortably step forward and back. So if you're someone that finds it hard to step back and forth from downward dog or stepping your legs forward in a lunge position, try having some blocks, and it gives you a little bit more height and space to move your leg forward. So hands to your front knee now. And again, just going through that dynamic movement of lifting and lowering and softening. Good. Lifting up. And now this time lowering the hips, coming into a held lunge and being mindful of not overstretching, taking the blocks under your hands if needed. One more breath here. And stepping that foot back, coming out of the pose, setting your blocks aside, sitting on your heels, turning your palms up and resting the backs of your hands on your legs. Okay, coming up to stand. Moving through a short standing sequence now. Stepping your feet out nice and wide. And turning your right toes out. Bringing your left toes in slightly, preparing for warrior two. So the outside edge of your back foot is running roughly parallel with the back end of your mat. And then begin to bend through the right knee, stacking the right knee above your ankle. Shoulders are stacked above your hips. Grounding down through your feet and lifting through both inner arches. And lifting through the pelvic floor, navel drawing in, and inhaling your arms out to your sides. Shoulder height turning to look just beyond your right fingertips. And don't be afraid to really drop down into that front thigh, strengthening through your legs and lifting your ribs up out of your waistline. Settling into your breath, holding here for just a couple more breaths. Beautiful. Lower your arms. Straighten out through your right leg and turn your right toes in. Take a breath between sides. We're already halfway through our practice. Time flies when you're having fun. And by having fun, I mean slowing down. It's so rare to get the opportunity to slow down. So turning the toes out, the left toes turning out, right big toe slightly turned in. Bending through that left knee now, stacking the left knee above the left ankle. And creating that nice firm foundation through your feet. Drawing that energy up, lifting through the pelvic floor, extending your arms out at shoulder height, turning to look just beyond your left fingertips. And seeing if you can challenge yourself to really drop the hips down, working into that front thigh. And equally drawing the energy down and back into your back leg so that you've got nice energetic and weight distribution across your whole base, not just in that front thigh. Couple more breaths here. Good. And release. Lower your arms, straighten out through your front leg, turning your toes in. Take a breath here. And option to use blocks for this next pose. We're going to go into a standing forward fold. So if you'd like to have blocks in front, you can take them out in front, whatever setting feels appropriate for you. Taking your hands to your hips, lifting nice and tall, lifting into the crown of your head, and folding forward, taking your hands forward, maybe onto the tops of blocks or straight to the floor. Starting in a half lift, lifting through the inner arches of your feet and lifting into your hips. Feeling a nice stretch through the backs of your legs. And then taking it further by folding in toward that space between your legs, walking your hands underneath your body. Maybe the crown of your head comes to the floor. There's an option here also to take a block underneath the crown of your head so you can experience that nice point of contact. And holding here. Gently engaging through your thighs. Pressing down into your big toe, the base of your little toe, your heel. Lifting through your inner arches. Couple more breaths here. And beginning to come out of the pose, lifting your head, walking your hands forward, holding a half lift. And then softly bend through your knees, taking your hands to your hips, press down into your feet to press yourself all the way up to standing. And heel toe your feet back together. Lower your arms by your sides and relax. Take a breath. Beautiful. Let's set our blocks aside and come down onto the mat in a seated position. You might want to have your belt handy as we move through some seated postures now. Okay. So sitting nice and tall, legs are straight, flexing your toes back toward you. Gently engage through your thighs, navel drawing in, and lift your lower back forward, coming into staff pose. Press your hands down to the floor. And further still, we're going to interlock our hands, press our palms away, and raise our arms up. So now you've got energy pressing into the soles of your feet, pressing your heels away. Toes are reaching back, so your legs are nice and active. And then you're lifting strongly all the way from the base of your spine to the crown of your head, up into your palms. looks like a simple shape, but actually takes quite a bit of strength to hold. So if you're feeling, ooh, that's normal. Couple more breaths here. Keep that activation going. Strong lines of energy through the soles of the feet, palms of the hands. And exhale. Release your hands, soften your legs, give them a little shake. Good. Okay, now coming into head to knee pose or alternate leg stretch, bending through the left knee and bringing the sole of the left foot to nest in the right inner thigh. Flexing your right toes back toward you, engaging through the right thigh. Option to take your belt around the sole of your foot. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Lifting up through your spine, and then exhale, drawing against your belt to fold forward over your right leg. And as your body begins to yield as we hold this position, you can walk your hands down your belt a little. And if you're practicing without the belt, taking your hands around the sole of your foot. And just staying in awareness that your body might feel a little different first thing in the morning as some of the normal morning stiffness exists. Two more breaths here. And slowly release, lifting up. Extend your left leg out and bring the right foot in. If you like, taking your belt around the sole of your foot. Lift and lengthen, engaging through the left leg, and then folding forward over the left leg. And maybe not using the belt, you can hold onto your ankle or your foot. And just softening forward, keeping that length through your spine. Gently drawing in through your belly so you've got a little bit extra space to fold forward in the hip area. One more breath. And release, walking your hands back. Coming up, taking both legs forward. Taking your belt again, going into a seated forward fold now. So middle of the belt around the soles of your feet, gently squeeze through your thighs, drawing your toes back toward you and holding the belt so that it's nice and taut, enabling you to draw against your feet and lift through your spine. Once you feel that lift, then folding forward at the hips, keeping your spine long. Doesn't matter if your spine curves, just really trying to go in with a lifted and lengthening as opposed to collapsing through the belly and lower back and kind of hanging forward, staying really nice and active in the pose. You can keep holding your belt or you can set it aside, holding your feet, ankles, or first two fingers around your big toes. I'm going to stay here for about 10 full breaths, so really taking your time to just cultivate awareness in the pose and seeing if you can move with those little ebbs and flows of your breath. As you inhale, you might naturally feel like you rise up a little and have the opportunity to lengthen and expand. And as you exhale, you may naturally feel that you want to soften, perhaps move a little deeper into the stretch, deeper into the fold. And sometimes on those exhalations, we don't physically move deeper, but something internally allows us to let go a little more maybe just on a psychological level. Couple more breaths here. And on your next exhalation, exhale completely, and then begin to walk your hands back, coming into a seated position. Cross your legs and take a rest for a moment. Good. Now walking your feet out in front. Taking your feet out and your hands back. This is a really simple shape, but quite invigorating and quite a nice stretch on our shoulders. So trying to keep your fingers pointing towards your feet, and then press down into your palms and the soles of your feet as you lift your hips. Lifting your hips high, maybe shimmying your feet forward a little just so you feel nice and aligned. And then sending the hips up, feeling the stretch through the shoulders, feeling your body working. And if you feel comfortable, you can very carefully and slowly drop your head back. Feeling your legs and glutes working. 2 more breaths here. Keep lifting through the hips, pressing down into your feet and palms. And exhaling, lowering your hips to the floor. Head naturally comes back to neutral. Crossing your legs, resting your hands in your lap. Take a breath. And come down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, lengthening your tailbone down toward the floor. Just a nice little easy stretch here. And then taking your hands to the front of your knees and making circles with your knees. Massaging into your lower back. And mobilizing through your hip joints. Back in the opposite direction. Good. Come back to center, taking your knees wide, circling them around. And back in the opposite direction. Good. Come back to center, now taking hold of the soles of your feet, coming into happy baby. Gently pressing down into that sort of tender midpoint in your foot. There's a mama point right in the center of our foot. So it's a little energy hub where if you gently press into it, it can help to release some fresh energy, circulate fresh energy. Working your knees down toward the floor, thighs moving down along your side body, shoulders down away from your ears. Gently rocking from side to side if it feels comfortable. And come back to center, holding the position. Allowing your hips to soften, gently encouraging your tailbone down toward the floor. Release, crossing your ankles in front of one another and taking hold of your feet. So you're just in a little bound, cross-legged position on your back. And just letting go now, closing your eyes for a few breaths as you hold this position. Release and change sides. Other ankle over the top. Holding your feet again, just a few breaths. I'm sure we're all feeling grateful for the opportunity to slow down and tune into our body and our breath. But just in case you're feeling any conditioned thought processes around task lists or day ahead, things to do, just giving yourself, we've only got about another 15 minutes. Release, both feet to the floor, straighten out your legs. Our mind rushing ahead doesn't solve anything. Giving ourselves the time and space to rest, restore, and just tune into ourselves, our body, will set us up for a nice, mindful, grounded day. So really taking the opportunity for this. Bending through your right knee and taking it across your body into a spinal twist. And taking your right arm out to the side, left hand resting on top of your right thigh, and turning to look just beyond your right hand. Working your knee down toward the floor and your shoulder down in the opposite direction. Just going into a nice stretch without straining. Two more breaths here. Release and change over to the other side. Straightening out through your right leg, bending through your left knee, taking your leg across. Right hand rests on top of the thigh. Left arm out at shoulder height, turning to look just beyond your left hand. One more breath. And come back to center. Hugging your knees in one last time. And then straightening out your legs, coming into Shavasana, putting on jumpers, jackets, blankets as needed to make yourself comfortable. You might like to take a bolster or pillow under your knees, maybe a pillow under your head. So you guys get comfortable, and I'll sit up to guide you through this final segment of our practice. And just laying where you are, noticing how your mind and body feel after your practice. And hopefully feeling that beautiful free flow of prana or energy circulating your body. Maybe your joints are feeling a little more open and mobile for this time of the day. Just taking a moment of appreciation for these practices that we get to engage in that really create such a beautiful foundation for our life, for our health and well-being, and for how we show up in the world and show up in our relationships. So never minimizing to ourselves just how beneficial and important it is to meet ourselves in our practice and take this time each week, each day if we can, whenever it's possible. So I'm going to guide you through a relaxation now. All you need to do is relax each body part as I mention it. Taking your breath and your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet. Relaxing your toes, from your big toes to your little toes. Relax the soles of your feet. And feel your heels to be heavy as they rest against the floor. Softening into your ankles. And softening into your lower legs, your knees, and your thighs. Relaxing the tops of your thighs, your inner thighs and outer thighs, and your hamstrings. Relax your left hip and your right hip. Feeling both of your legs to be heavy and relaxed. Relaxing into your pelvis, your lower abdomen, your belly, through your midsection, and up to your upper abdominals, your diaphragm. Visualizing your breath as a healing white light circulating through your abdominal region, bringing fresh prana and oxygen to all of your vital organs. Now slowly releasing that visualization. Feeling your abdomen to be soft and relaxed. And feeling the sides of your torso as if they're melting down toward the floor. Relax into your chest. Relaxing your ribs and all the muscles in between each rib. Softening into your lungs, your heart center. And again, visualizing your breath as a healing white light and energy, revitalizing your lungs, revitalizing your heart. Now releasing that visualization and moving your awareness up to your shoulder region, feeling your collarbones broadening and releasing, relaxing into the tops of your shoulders and down and around your shoulder blades. Relaxing into your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, and your wrists and hands. Both of your arms are heavy and relaxed. Feeling the gentle prickling sensation of prana circulating your palms. And now gently guiding your awareness to your lower back, feeling your sacrum broadening and relaxing. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your neck. Feeling all the muscles either side of your spine softening and releasing. Your entire spine and your central nervous system is deeply relaxed. Your head is getting heavier and heavier as it rests against the floor. Softening into your face and relaxing into your jaw. Relax your mouth, feeling your lips to be softly touching. Giving yourself the next minute to rest completely in very gentle, conscious awareness. Nothing else to do and nowhere else to be. Just rest. And slowly waking up your body by wriggling your fingers and toes. Gently rocking your head from side to side. And rolling over onto one side. And carefully pressing yourself up to sit. We'll finish our practice by chanting the mantra Gauranga. And we're just singing the mantra, joining in as you feel comfortable. Typically, I will lead for a couple of rounds of the mantra and you listen, and then you'll chant in response, singing the mantra, and I listen, and we go back and forth, but it's a little bit tricky online, so just sing along, chant along as you feel comfortable, drawing the mantra in through your ears, into your mind and down into your heart. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. One last round. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Now bringing our hands together in prayer position, Bowing to offer our respects to each other. And bowing once more to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul. And I hope that you're feeling nice and grounded and revitalized, and that you can carry that energy throughout the rest of your day.